Got the figures for St. Kitts and other countries on the results of the coronavirus deaths. You see a lot of figures on the number of people who are actually getting the disease, and you have other stats on how many are hospitalized and the number of new cases. But I wanted to concentrate on deaths because St. Kitts has actually had 0 deaths. And I'm doing this video as of July the 20th, 2020. And, you know, the virus has been up and going for a long time. But I wanted to bring this out because, like I said, St. Kitts has not only had 0 deaths, but we've had 0 hospitalizations. We've had about 15 cases of coronavirus positive cases, but none of those people, it was bad enough to even be hospitalized. And the reason I'm telling you this was a big article in Bloomberg talking about how the wealthy now are looking for countries that don't have any sort of results or any deaths from the coronavirus. And I'm going to actually tell you in this video the countries that have had 0 deaths from the coronavirus. And you'd be surprised on, you know, where these people are, or why, you know, we're not seeing any sort of deaths in these countries, and I'm going to tell you about that in this video too. Also, if you go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, you'll get more information on how to get your taxes to 0 and also how to get a second passport as quick as about 3 months. Okay, want to get started on this. This sheet actually comes out. You can pull it up on the internet, but it gives you an up-to-date on a daily basis. It's remarkable the number of stats that they're actually keeping on this. But the USA actually has the most number of deaths. The total deaths in the world is, as of today, was 611,799. I guess they figured that out as of yesterday, and they publish it today. But they've got all this stuff right on a computer. The country that had the most number of deaths is the USA, which is 143,646 number of people. Now, what I wanted to do is show you the stats on the countries that had 0 deaths. Now, some of these I think are kind of questionable because they have big countries on here that are kind of corrupt. So I'm really wondering, you know, how accurate are they in, you know, publishing correct figures, which I would think there's a possibility that it might not be correct. But the countries that I think that are by far the safest are countries that are island-type countries, because by having island-type countries, it's a lot easier to seal down the border. And this is what happened in St. Kitts. They closed down the cruise ships. They closed down all the airlines, you know, right away. So when you do that and you got a small country, it's a lot easier to control the situation. Now, if you got an old parent, someone who's retired, and you're looking to possibly lower their risk of dying, or just yourself. I've had a couple of friends who have actually already died from the coronavirus, and it'd be a pretty painful death. You know, if you actually die from it, because both of these were on respirators, and it's a very suffocating type death if you have that. There is to be frank with you though, very few people are dying that are getting this. But if you really want a safe place to go, these countries are the safest. And I'm going to ring them out to you real quick. Uganda is one of them. The other one, next in line, would be Vietnam. And then you've got countries like, you got Vietnam, and then you've got countries like Mongolia, Eritrea, which is in Africa. Surprisingly, a lot of these countries are in Africa. Faroe Islands. And what I'm finding out is a lot of these are coming from that have 0 deaths, or actually island-type countries. And then you've got countries like Gibraltar, and then Cambodia is another one. And Cambodia is a pretty corrupt country. I'm really wondering if they're publishing correct figures. Seychelles is another one. That's an island. Bhutan. We're looking at countries like French Polynesia, St. Vincent, Grenadines. These are islands that I mentioned about, and like I said, they can control the situation a lot better. Macau, we're looking at Fiji, Timor-Leste, Grenada, St. Lucia, New Caledonia, Laos, Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, Papua New Guinea, Falkland Islands, Greenland, countries like Vatican City, Western Sahara, Caribbean, Netherlands. British Virgin Islands, British Virgin Islands has had one case, one death. I take that off. St. Bart's is another one. St. Pierre, Miquelon, Anguilla. So these are the countries right here. So if you really want to be safe from the coronavirus, these are the places that you would need to go. But don't just go for that protection. St. Kitts and Nevis, the great thing about these countries is they're so close to the U.S. and Canada. You can get back to the U.S. like in 3 or 4 hours, depending on which side of the coast that you are. Miami, you're looking at maybe around 3 hours. You can get there in Toronto in about 4 hours, New York 4 hours, direct flights to Atlanta, Georgia in about 4 hours. All of these are direct flights, so you can get there really quick. And one thing that's really nice too is we're looking at July here now, which is very hot in the place I grew up, which was North Carolina. Here it's like about maybe 7-8 degrees less than it is in North Carolina. In the wintertime, the weather's just incredible. It's really nice. But the big thing that's really nice is there's no income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax. And when you buy properties, the property tax it's almost non-existent. It's like 0.20% of whatever you're buying, which is about anywhere from 13 to 15 times less than buying a property in New Jersey, depending on which area of New Jersey you're actually buying in. So, it's got a lot of benefits, but if you really want a place that's not just safe because of the coronavirus, but the pollution level here was doing some research, and it's got the second lowest pollution rate of any country in the world. You're looking at a place that properties, and you can compare them with where you're at, like I mentioned to you before. We're selling properties down here now. These are resales, not new sales, that are anywhere from run anywhere from around $33 US a square foot on up. That's about the cheapest we've run into so far. That's incredibly cheap. The way you do it is you just take your whole house price, you get appraised whatever the land is, take that land and subtract it, and then whatever is left from the total price of whatever your property would sell for, divide that by the square footage of your inside of your house, and you get the cost per square foot, so you can do a comparison. So we're looking at here, like I said, it's in the low 30 US dollars per square foot. That's cheap, but that's getting ready to change, because when the dollar plunges, that's when property values here usually go through the roof. They could double or triple real quick. So if you want some really good deals, now's the time to do it, not later, because typically St. Kitts properties run in sequence with emerging market real estate and emerging market equities. The equities usually take off first. The real estate takes off second. If you do have parents, though, that want a real nice, safe place away from the coronavirus, or yourself, this is a great place, a lot safer than nursing homes. The problems with nursing homes is you've got, now if they're in bad shape in a nursing home, or if they're in bad health, the risk of getting them out of the nursing home would probably not be a good idea. There's a lot of people in independent living that really don't have a lot of health issues. And that's the type of person I'm talking about if you don't have a lot of health problems already. But if you come down here, obviously you can't come down now because all the cruise ships, the flights are, they're closed down now. But when they do open back up, this is something that you might want to think about. And also the tax situation also depends on your residency. As I mentioned before, if you're a high tax country like Germany, France, Spain, Italy, the taxes worldwide income, and you have residents from those countries, and you're keeping your residence there, you're still going to have to pay taxes even if you come down here. The way to do it is escape the tax there legally by detaxing yourself, get away from the residency ties in those high tax countries that tax you on your worldwide income. If you're a U.S. citizen, you're going to have to, there are ways that you can file for the foreign earned income exclusion. And with a husband and wife, you can deduct up to around $214,000 a year, actually a little bit over that. And it ends up being $107,000 a person. But there are 2 tests that you have to qualify for, and we got a video on that. You can look at that to qualify for that. So you can't just come down here and go back to the U.S. anytime. You have to qualify by one of the 2 physical presence tests, and you can look at our videos on that. We have other videos on that. So but if you're a U.S. citizen, like I said, you'd have to relinquish your U.S. citizenship and get out of your residency ties there. You can't keep any sort of green card or break any substantial presence tests, or you'll be taxed on your worldwide income there. But you can qualify, like I mentioned, with the foreign overseas exclusion, and still be a U.S. citizen and get a lot of tax benefits from there. If you want to know more, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Hit the top bar where it says Apply with Us. You'll get questions, fill those out, and then hit where on the bottom where it says Send Back to Us. We'll get back with you and see what we can do to help you there. We deal with about 74 citizenship by investment, residency by investment countries, not just St. Kitts, but it's very hard to check all the boxes to get what you get in St. Kitts, because you got dual citizenship, English speaking. You get the citizenship in anywhere from about 4 to 5 months here in St. Kitts, and the tax advantages, it's just hard to beat it. And you don't have to learn a language to get the citizenship. It's fast. It checks all the boxes, and it's close to the U.S., Canada, and we have direct flights also to the U.K. and other places in Europe. And if you want new videos as they come out, hit the subscribe button. We'll get them out to you as soon as they come in. And also, I'd like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, just put it below. We'll get back with you and see what we can do to help you out. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.